Hello. Today we're visiting Chennai, previously known as Madras till 1996. Chennai is the capital and the largest city in Tamil Nadu with a population of about 7 million people. Interesting fact is that the Chennai Corporation is the oldest municipal corporation in India and the second oldest in the world after the City of London. Chennai is not a new city. Stone axes have been found in the town of Pallavaram near the city of Chennai that date back to 150,000 years ago, suggesting that a robust human colonization was present in the area. Over the last 2,000 years, there have been many kingdoms ruling this region, including the Cholas, the Pallavas, the Pandyas, and the Vijayanagar kings. In 1522, the Portuguese landed in this area through the sea route and named the city Sao Tome after St. Thomas the Apostle. The East India Trading Company purchased a small plot of land from the Vijayanagar king in 1639. On this plot of land, Fort St. George was established, from which the trading company and subsequently the British throne began to rule a large part of the subcontinent. Since independence, Chennai has established itself as a major hub of manufacturing and economic activity in India, with automobile manufacture, software and hardware, and financial services. The beating heart of Chennai is the Kapaleeswarar temple, located in the area known as Mylapore, a busy neighborhood with lots of jewelry shops, sari shops, restaurants, and a variety of other pleasant shopping opportunities. Like other temples in the south, it has a large entry gateway known as a gopuram, and intricate and detailed stucco statues adorning the entire tall, grand structure. When you enter through the gateway, there's a pathway around the quadrangular structure for circumambulation around the inner sanctum sanctorum. There are many altars along the side, with devotees gathering for their morning puja or prayer. The temple is dedicated to Lord Shiva and his wife, the goddess Parvati. One of the myths surrounding the origin of the temple is that Shiva and Parvati had an argument. Shiva got upset and banished Parvati to the earth as a peahen. She landed in Mylapore, and hence the name Mylapore, after the Tamil word for peacock, Mylai. Lord Shiva eventually relents, comes back to earth, and meets Parvati in Mylapore, and a temple is built in the area. Not far from Mylapore is one of the busiest and longest stretches of beach in the world, Marina Beach, Chennai. We visited around midday, but it's not uncommon for Marina Beach to get 30 to 50,000 people every day in the mornings and evenings when it's not as sunny. You'll find kite flying, people playing beach cricket, horse riding, and lots of food stalls throughout the beach. On the southern end of the beach, we came across a large number of fishing boats used by the locals to harvest the bountiful seafood from the Bay of Bengal, including a variety of different types of saltwater fish as well as shrimp. We walked across the street, eager to try some of this fresh seafood with our driver who introduced us to the area. We had some delicious, very fresh fish caught earlier that evening, accompanied by some pan-fried crepes known locally as dosas, the street food of Chennai at its best.
Spicy. A little bit spicy.
Very near the seafood stalls is a large fish market that is set up by the Tamil Nadu government for the local fishermen. We were at the market later in the evening, but if you come in early morning or earlier in the evening, this is a thriving fish market with a lot of locals coming here to find excellent prices on a large variety of seafood. The Tamil Nadu government built housing for the families and these fishermen, and you can see the buildings where the fishermen live with their families in the distance right there. The next day, we visited the Coimbatore Wholesale Market. This is the largest market for vegetables, fruits, and flowers in Asia, and is spread out over 290 acres and more than 3,000 shops. You'll find almost every vegetable that grows in the subcontinent. There's a strong smell of fresh garlic throughout the air. There's banana leaves that people use to eat their food on. This is a favorite place for families as well as merchants from the Chennai area to come and do their shopping. We're stepping now from the vegetable blocks into the fruit market section of Coimbatore. It was wonderful to see the fruits that I grew up with as a child. And here we found some custard apples. We're trying to find the sweetest of the lot to eat later that morning. Oh, this is सीताफल. कौन सा अच्छा है? कौन सा अच्छा है आज खाने के लिए?
ये दोनों भी खा सकता है.
दोनों. He said one of these two you can eat today.
Yeah. Okay, let me see. Which is better? This is good, sweet, or this is sweet?
From the fruit market, we moved over to the next block, which is the flower market. There are more than 850 shops selling a variety of different flowers. Roses, jasmine, marigold, and firecracker flowers are the fast-selling varieties. Women locally use these flowers to make garlands to adorn their religious statues and also to put in their hair. One of the must-see sites in Chennai is the San Tome Basilica or the St. Thomas Basilica, one of the 3 churches in the world that has been constructed over the tomb of an apostle. The other 2 basilicas are St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican and St. James Santiago de Compostela Cathedral in Spain. A very large and serene church is on the main level, while downstairs in the basement there's a little museum and also a replica of St. Thomas's tomb. A Portuguese church built over the tomb of St. Thomas in the 16th century was torn down and rebuilt by the British in 1896. There are several relics in the basement from the original church that help build the origin and evolution of Christianity in India. St. Thomas was reportedly attacked while preaching on the beach in Mylapore in 68 AD. He ran to this hill now known as Mount St. Thomas, where he eventually passed away. There is a church on this hill in his memory, where a mass was going on for the local Tamilian faithful. There are steps going down the hill where St. Thomas is reported to have walked on himself, and these lead to a relic chapel and museum where the story of St. Thomas is explained and relics of various Christian missionaries and dignitaries are visible. I hope you enjoyed learning about some of the sites that make the history and culture of the people in the Chennai area. You can learn about some of the other fascinating aspects of Chennai in some of my other videos. See you next time.